because we're smooth.
Yeah, because we're smooth. There we go. So there is an illegal quid pro quo going on right now, and that's in Washington, D.C.
Yes.
The impeachment hearings had wrapped up on Thursday, also known as the bribery. We heard from Fiona Hill, who's a top Russia expert at the White House. We also heard from David Holmes, career state diplomat, and they continued to say what everybody else was saying. Trump conspired with the Ukrainians through Rudolph Giuliani, Sondland, through some of his other people who work at the White House, including Rick Perry, who was then the head of the Department of Energy, to get dirt on Joe Biden that is, for all intents and purposes, conspiracy theory dirt, because none of it has ever been even remotely proven that there's a scintilla of evidence that Joe Biden or Hunter Biden ever broke the law, but to at least muddy the waters, make people believe that they did, and use it for political advantage in the 2020 election. What they said is, we're going to hold up legal aid that was supposed to be given to you, Ukraine, to fight the Russians, who were the ones who actually interfered in our election. Fiona Hill said, it is a fictional narrative that has been perpetrated and propagated by the Russian security services themselves, this whole entire Ukraine meddling in the United States election. Holmes gave firsthand knowledge that the president did in fact also know that U.S. senior officials were pushing the Ukrainian president to announce an investigation against Joe Biden. They clearly stated that a White House invitation and $400 million of military assistance was used as leverage to pressure the new Ukrainian government into announcing investigations. Fiona Hill continued to say that if the president or anyone else impedes or subverts the national security of the United States in order to further domestic, political, or personal interests, we must act, and that is why she testified. What's going to happen next? Public hearings are all wrapped up. Intelligence Committee is going to write a report with its findings and recommendations. It is a majority of Democrats on this committee. I am sure they are going to find that the president committed several impeachable offenses, including bribery, which is the quid pro quo, obstruction of justice, and perhaps some other offenses as well. It is going to go to a different committee called the House Judiciary Committee, who's then going to hold hearings on whether to hold a vote to impeach Donald Trump. Now, what impeach Donald Trump means is that the House of Representatives has found enough evidence to send the case to the U.S. Senate to have a trial to determine if Donald Trump violated the Constitution of the United States and his oath to uphold the Constitution. That is the crime. You know who presides over the U.S. Senate during this trial is the Chief Justice Roberts. We need, because I guess we've taken a position that we want Trump impeached.
Right.
And we want him out of office.
Absolutely.
By the way, when we started the show, we said we were going to be apolitical, but apparently we're political now.
Yes.
We need 67 votes, Jonathan, to impeach Donald Trump. That's assuming all 100 senators vote. Most people believe that since there's only 48 Democrats and 52 Republicans, and you would need approximately 18 or 20 Republicans to change positions and vote against Donald Trump, which is not going to happen right now. Most important to them is their job. They want to get reelected again, and they don't want Donald Trump tweeting against them during an election.
Exactly.
Because that's what he likes to do, is tweet. The only way that Trump actually loses in the Senate is if there's a sick out, meaning that a lot of Republicans don't show up for the vote. They don't want to take a position one way or the other, and there's a theory that maybe people will miss the vote. All of a sudden there's going to be mysterious illnesses. They'll be in the hospital.
So if they miss the vote,
it's a 2/3 majority of the people
who
are
vote?
there, who are voting. That is the only way.
So is that kind of like a discreet way of voting?
That's a discreet way of voting. Saying,
I'm sick now.
but not
actually
taking a vote or taking a position. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. Right. But that is the only theory that anyone has come up with that I have read that is credible.
That's a good.
But ultimately, I think what's going to happen, the House is going to impeach him, the Senate is going to acquit him, and then there's going to be an appeal, and the appeal is going to be to the American public, who's going to decide whether or not Donald Trump should stay in office. And that will be in approximately 12 months from now, a little less than 12 months. Gordon Sondland gave testimony and said in his opening statement there was a quid pro quo between Donald Trump and the Ukrainian government that he was going to give a White House visit and $400 million in aid for dirt on the Bidens that didn't exist. Okay, that is the something for something. Later that day, Donald Trump took to his Sharpie. On his Sharpie, he put on a piece of paper, and I think he brought this out on the front lawn of the White House before he got into his helicopter. He wrote it and he was sending it out to everybody. I want no quid pro quo. Tell Zelensky to do the right thing. This is his new thing that he's been sending out. God. So he's been writing it all on his pieces of paper.
Ready? You have the cameras rolling? I want nothing. That's what I want from Ukraine. That's what I said. I want nothing. I said it twice.
Oh
and there was cameras got the back of it. And he had it written in Sharpie for exactly what he said. Twitter went crazy because he's writing in these big block letters, you know, like a kindergartner. So it says Trump's letter to Santa will finally clear him of all wrongdoing. Meanwhile, Michael Bloomberg announced that he is going to be running for president. He is now the third billionaire to be running for president, Donald Trump being one, Steyer being number two, who is not getting any traction in the Democratic Party, Michael Bloomberg being number three. What makes Bloomberg very interesting is that he's worth $53 billion. He's self-made. Now, Michael Bloomberg, he was the mayor for New York City. He has a problem with minorities, and his problem with minorities is that he forcefully enforced the stop and frisk of the early 2000s. Bloomberg thought it was saving lives. Studies later revealed it did nothing except terrorize these communities and put a lot of people in jail that otherwise should not have been put in jail. A lot of black political figures are not accepting the apology.
Good.
Maybe better him than Donald Trump. Rudy Giuliani was a pro-immigration mayor. Hugely pro-immigration mayor. When he was the mayor of New York City, he was the champion of immigrants. Look at him now. He has vowed that he could bring together people. We'll wait to see. The New York Times reported today that in the latest national polls, are the three people who are leading with the minority vote, with the black vote specifically, are all not black. Senator Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders of Vermont, and Joe Biden. And it's very surprising that the two black candidates, Kamala Harris and Cory Booker, is not gaining traction in the black community. And now interviews in the New York Times conducted with 24 black voters, they articulated a particular disenchantment with the idea that racial representation equated change and that they should automatically back a candidate who looks like them. Moderate black voters, particularly older ones, according to this poll, are supporting Vice President Biden. Younger black voters are supporting Warren and Sanders because they're the ones who look like they will do the most change for America.
I feel like, which is what a lot of black voters are, seeing now, is representation isn't just enough anymore. We loved Obama, but they also saw stuff that he didn't cater to, towards the black communities, where he kind of, left out some things. And for the first black president, that was a big thing. And I feel like most black people did vote for him just because he was black. That actually makes me feel a lot better that more black people are not voting for the black candidates just because they're black. That shows that black people are actually taking this serious
and listening. And, they interviewed a couple of black American voters in the South. Dan Webb was a 58-year-old resident of Greenwood, South Carolina. He's black. And he said he was supporting Joe Biden because he thought white people in key electoral college states were more likely to vote for him. And his most important thing is he wants Trump out. He said, within South Carolina, within the African American community, we don't want to take a chance on someone who doesn't have a chance of beating Donald Trump. That's why I think, by the way, Bloomberg has a chance if people will believe that he changed.
He's got some work to do.
Right. If people believe that he changed his ways, Bloomberg has a chance, because if your thinking is, I just want a Democrat because any Democrat's better than Donald Trump, then you have to say Bloomberg is your man. Because he has of everybody, as of now, we got to hear what he has to say, but as of now, I think he has the best chance of beating Trump, assuming he gets the minority vote.
Do you feel like he did change his ways, Bloomberg?
No, I think he absolutely changed for the vote. Absolutely, 100%. I really believe he truly feels that stop and frisk save lives. It didn't. He thinks he did the right thing. He didn't, because even if he took one gun off the street, it didn't outweigh all the terrorism that they put into the community the fear of police, the
Yeah.
fear of walking down the street.
all
All
I
right, so
wanted
when
to
you
know.
weigh it,
Yeah.
you just weigh the good and the bad. Thanks for watching. For more Brad Show Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.